From a fragile experiment in self-government to a global superpower navigating the complexities of the 21st century, the presidency of the United States has evolved dramatically. For more than 200 years, each leader who stepped into the Oval Office has helped shape the direction of the nation through war and peace, prosperity and crisis, unity and division. This is the complete journey of America's presidents, from the very first to today. It all began with George Washington. After leading the colonies to victory in the Revolutionary War, he was unanimously chosen to become the nation's first president. With no precedent to follow, Washington essentially created the role itself, establishing traditions like serving only 2 terms and peacefully transferring power. Next came John Adams, a passionate advocate for independence and a key voice behind the Declaration of Independence. He also became the first president to live in the White House. Then Thomas Jefferson took office. As the principal author of the Declaration of Independence, Jefferson later doubled the size of the United States through the Louisiana Purchase and went on to found the University of Virginia. James Madison, often called the father of the Constitution, guided the young nation through the War of 1812, testing America's strength on the world stage. His successor, James Monroe, introduced the Monroe Doctrine, warning European powers against further colonization in the Western Hemisphere. His presidency became known as the Era of Good Feelings. With John Quincy Adams, the presidency became a family legacy as the son of John Adams entered office. After his term, he served 17 years in Congress and became a leading opponent of slavery. Then came Andrew Jackson, a war hero turned populist leader. Seen as a champion of the common man, his presidency expanded voter participation, yet remains controversial for the forced removal of Native American tribes. The economic panic of 1837 defined the presidency of Martin Van Buren, a skilled political organizer who helped shape the modern Democratic Party. William Henry Harrison served the shortest term in history, just 31 days after falling ill shortly after delivering a lengthy inaugural address. When he died, John Tyler became the first vice president to assume the presidency after a president's death, setting an important constitutional precedent. Expansion defined James K. Polk, who oversaw major territorial growth, including Texas and much of the American Southwest. A series of short or turbulent presidencies followed. Zachary Taylor, a Mexican-American war hero, died in office. Millard Fillmore signed the Compromise of 1850. Franklin Pierce supported the Kansas-Nebraska Act, deepening national divisions. James Buchanan struggled as the country moved closer to civil war. That crisis landed in the hands of Abraham Lincoln. Lincoln preserved the Union during the Civil War and issued the Emancipation Proclamation, redefining the nation's moral direction. His assassination shocked the world. Reconstruction tested Andrew Johnson, who clashed with Congress and became the first president to be impeached. Civil War General Ulysses S. Grant worked to protect the rights of formerly enslaved people, though corruption scandals affected his administration. The late 19th century saw reform and industrial expansion under Rutherford Hayes, James A. Garfield, Chester A. Arthur, Grover Cleveland, and Benjamin Harrison. At the dawn of the 20th century, America stepped onto the global stage. William McKinley led the nation during the Spanish-American War before his assassination. Theodore Roosevelt followed, known for trust-busting, conservation efforts, and the construction of the Panama Canal. William Howard Taft later became the only person to serve as both president and Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. During World War I, Woodrow Wilson guided the nation and promoted the idea of the League of Nations. The Roaring Twenties unfolded under Warren Harding and Calvin Coolidge before the Great Depression struck during Herbert Hoover's presidency. Then came Franklin D. Roosevelt, who led America through the Great Depression and World War II. His New Deal programs reshaped the federal government, and he remains the only president elected for 4 terms. The Cold War era followed under Harry T. Truman, Dwight D. Eisenhower, and John F. Kennedy, whose assassination marked another moment of national tragedy. Civil rights reforms expanded under Lyndon B. Johnson, while Nixon resigned from office during the Watergate scandal. From economic challenges to global diplomacy, the late 19th century featured Ford, Carter, Reagan, and Bush. The modern era continued with Clinton, Bush, Obama, and Trump. Joe Biden led the nation during a global pandemic and major legislative initiatives. In 2025, Donald Trump returned to office as only the second president in United States history to win non-consecutive terms, reviving debates about executive power, trade, immigration, and America's global role. From revolution to superpower, from civil war to civil rights, from isolation to global leadership, the story of America can be traced through the individuals who held its highest office. Which president do you believe had the greatest impact on American history? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this journey through history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories that shaped the world.